You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the first episode of the Filmaholics Podcast, where we are literally addicted to films, alcohol, possibly drugs. So give us a high dosage of your time and fill our veins with your attention. That might be the worst thing I've ever said, I'm not gonna lie. It's such a stupid fucking sentence, but I thought it was funny when I wrote it, so...
You were probably like either high or drunk at the moment.
I'm actually myself, so basically, I feel like myself as a person is just, I'm always high or drunk.
High off of life.
No, high off of stupidity, I think.
Oh my God.
I think that's just how it goes. So let's just get into who we are and what this podcast is. So... real quick, the podcast, the Filmaholics Podcast, is it's going to be a podcast where we talk about films, and we drink alcohol while we do it because we're bored. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a new virus going around called COVID-19. It's really serious. Don't whisper. What are you whispering?
We're
Tanner?
talking.
Yeah, you're supposed to talk out loud. It's a podcast.
So there's this new virus going on. It's COVID-19. I'm taking over for Lawrence.
Okay.
And, well, we can't go out. We can't do anything.
So we hang out.
We hang out and we do everything that they told us
Isn't that
not to do.
Yeah, isn't that the number one thing not to do? Don't come together.
And we're not social distancing, by the way. We
are about half a foot by each other. This is the smallest space ever.
But I guess to like make it up, we're drinking, right? Doesn't alcohol like help?
counts. PEMDAS.
Yeah, right. No. Alcohol kills corona.
Oh, see, just drink, guys. That's what you're supposed to do.
We're gonna die soon.
Anyway, just to get back to what we were saying.
You may not
so
get
this
corona, but you're gonna get
alcohol poisoning. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just get on with it. We're getting off track already. So with this podcast, like I said, we'll talk about films. We'll talk about alcohol. We'll talk about our lives. You know, it's to have fun. We're talking. With that being said, you should know who's a part of the podcast, the Filmaholics Podcast. So I'll start out, I guess, since I'm important. I'm not, but we'll just start. My name is Lawrence Serrano. Some of you may know me from Film Twitter, and if you do know me from Film Twitter, I'm very sorry. I'm annoying. All I do is tweet about movies. Whatever. I've always loved film since I was a little kid, about 8 years old. I knew I wanted to be a director. And as I grew up, I just knew that I wanted to talk about movies. I loved them. And yeah, that's just me.
Okay, so I'm Antonio Gonzalez. I don't really know too much about film. I watch it like an average viewer. I do think that Lawrence is crazy by doing this, but you know what? I owe him one. He helps me a lot, so I'm gonna help him out. I like taking photos. I like making little videos for YouTube. I do this for a living, barely.
It's the bare minimum.
It's the bare minimum.
Is that it?
No, hold on. I need to plug myself. You can watch my shitty videos on YouTube.
Notorious Nini.
Yeah, Notorious Nini.
I'll probably put a link in there. I don't know. Probably not. I don't care.
I'll make him put a link. Alright, anyways.
Luis.
Hey! Yep. I was forced into this industry by the only Lawrence Serrano. Just kidding. I was put in here voluntarily. Sure. He had no influence in my decisions.
Oh, okay.
I am passionate about taking photos, and I got into film in high school, where Lawrence Serrano, the creator of this show, actually
talked you into joining a class that
it wasn't really a talk. It was more like,
please do it.
Yeah, it was
please.
Like a beg. Like,
please do it.
I have to be better.
I need friends in there. There's no one in there who knows me.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I said.
That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly how you sound like.
That's how he sounds like.
Yeah, the voice that you hear right now is actually just a facade.
A facade?
Is that what the word is? I don't know.
What does that mean?
What if it means something different?
Anyway.
Oh, wait. I heard a new voice. Luis, that wasn't you. Who's that? What?
Pedro! Thanks for cutting me off.
Good segue.
Yeah,
awesome segue.
Pedro, go on.
All right, well, I'm Pedro Gomez.
Yeah.
I'm also part of this whole friend group that we met each other, well, like, mostly in high school.
Oh, I got a great story about all the stuff. But go
so
on.
I kind of started, like, with the whole, like, getting to know like film and all that stuff, well, like I always like being in front of the camera when I was little. Like I almost got casted into like a little small part in Sweet
Casting
Life.
couch.
And Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which is totally different from a casting couch. I ended up taking the same TV class as Lawrence because he begged me to join it too, such as Luis.
And how did that turn out for you guys? I beg.
Dude, it's horrible, man. This sucks, man. Like, I hate this lifestyle.
Hey, hold on. Film gave us our lives.
Oh, wait, hold on. Because you cut me off, I just want to say I am very sorry for not finishing my film. It's coming out soon, guys. I promise.
I want to help. I didn't get to help.
Real quick, before we get into this discussion of a certain film that's amazing, by the way, Luis Chavez has a film that he started but couldn't finish.
It's not that I couldn't finish.
Oh, whatever. You know what I mean. That sounds mean.
You'll never admit to nothing.
You'll never make me proud.
So yeah, he didn't exactly finish it. It's okay because it is gonna come out. But honestly, it's due to a couple reasons. But one of the biggest reasons right now is definitely COVID-19.
Yeah, definitely.
COVID-19. We have to be in certain areas that we can't be around
We just can't
now.
be there.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's gonna be great. I'll say that. That's a plug for Luis. We'll find a way to segue a plug in for Pedro. He has an Instagram account that is involved with film. Is it Z Productions? What is it?
Oh yeah, Z Productions. Just something to put a little bit of my work outside, aside from my actual profile. So
God, I love drinking.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that basically sums up who we are. This is probably the part of the podcast where you're like, wow, I fucking hate these guys, and you shut us off. That makes perfect sense.
That does.
If you're listening still after the 7 minutes of just total batshit nonsense, thank you for staying. We're going to be talking about a certain film that I love. I basically recommended it for the first podcast because, one, with the whole COVID-19 shit, there's no new movies coming out, so we don't have anything new.
That's not true. Trolls went straight to on demand.
Hey, that's true.
That's true.
I forgot about that masterpiece.
That's a cinematic masterpiece.
of cinema. It's whatever.
Better than Taxi Driver, better than The Godfather.
That's like Guillermo del Toro, Stan Lee, Kubrick.
That's their dream.
That's like their dream. Like if they could make a fucking Trolls.
Better than
Hey, cheers
Spider-Man
to
and the
that.
Spider-Verse.
I know if anyone on Film Twitter is listening right now, they had a heart attack just listening to what you just said. It's okay. They'll be fine. They'll get over it.
I want to be accepted into that community, but I don't.
Okay, real quick before we get into the movie.
No, we gotta get into the movie.
Film Twitter, I love it and I hate it at the same time because there's people on there who are fantastic, who are cool people.
so.
They love
Shout
good
out to
movies.
those people.
Shout out to those fucking people.
It's like being in a gang. Like, you know, like...
Wait a minute.
There's some good gang members who, you know, want to help the community and, you know...
And they
like,
love their, like, where they're from.
Yeah, they
and
love where they're from, and they'll donate like
Respect
backpacks.
that.
They'll donate like backpacks to like kids or whatever, and then they're just like the other side. That's like
That's Film Twitter.
Okay,
right?
well, you guys clearly don't know what Film Twitter is. I'll explain. Film Twitter, you guys are cool. Some of you are a little mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's okay. It's all in fun. Let's talk about films on Film Twitter because that's what it should be about films. And it's what this podcast is about. So let's get into the film that we're gonna be talking about. So I don't know if you guys heard of this movie. It's not that popular. It's called Parasite.
Star Wars?
Okay. Let's never talk about Star Wars. So
why?
That's...
I like it.
Hey! Okay.
Okay,
Continue.
Parasite.
Parasite.
for those of you who have not seen Parasite, are you living under a rock? It's fantastic.
Well, some people don't like to read like subtitles.
Yeah,
Maybe if they subbed it.
And we'll get into that. We'll get into that whole...
Oh, yeah, we'll get it.
We'll get into a lot of things.
I don't know how to read.
Like I said, if you don't know what Parasite is, go watch it. It's fantastic. It's the first foreign language film to ever win Best Picture. It won a total of 4 Oscars.
4.
The most of that year, which was this year.
That's great.
And it won... What did it win? Best Original Screenplay.
That was this year?
I know. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, Best Original Screenplay, it won Best Director, Best International Film, and for the first time ever for a foreign film, Best Picture, which was huge.
That was.
I don't know about you guys. I saw every Best Picture nominee of 2019. You know, all the big ones, Joker, 1917. I saw all of them.
Can I ask you guys a question? Did you see Parasite before or after it was nominated?
I saw it before.
Before, right?
I saw. Wait.
Did I watched it before.
No, you guys actually, I think you saw it after.
I watched it.
We saw it in January, and the nominations come out in January. We'll figure that out later. Let's just get back into introducing the movie. But to answer your question, I saw it in October, which is when it finally came to the theaters over here.
Show off.
I saw it for like $7 at like a matinee performance. I was the only one in the theater.
Actually,
and it was awesome.
To be a surprise, this is what I love about Parasite. It's huge. It's a
huge.
it's a really big movie for
the biggest.
For a foreign film to be this well received and loved and seen by a lot of people, and for it to win Best Picture, it's pretty fucking huge. Especially when last year there was a film that probably wasn't as deserving to win Best Picture. I really wanted Roma to win. But that would have been
shoutouts to Roma.
Shout out to Roma. It would have been the first foreign language film, but you know what? It's kind of cool that Parasite is because it's fantastic. So real quick, just to tell you what it's about. I won't tell you what it's about, actually. I think this is the movie that you need to go in not knowing anything. And the only thing you should know is that it's not a zombie film.
It's not. Okay, I need to talk about that.
We'll get into that.
Because Antonio thought Parasite was a zombie film, and when he's an hour in, he's like,
There's no zombies.
Where are the zombies?
Okay, hold on. Let me just say. Okay, so when you watch a zombie movie, like there's a lot of zombie tropes, like that one guy who's already infected and they don't know he's infected, so like nothing happens. So in the movie, like you see the guy, he's drunk and he's taking a piss, and I'm like, okay, that's the zombie. I'm like, that's the zombie. And I'm like, okay, like let's see what's gonna happen. No zombie attack. And then like when the house gets like pesticide and they get like free pesticide for their house, I'm like, okay, because of the pesticide, they're gonna be like safe from the virus or whatever, right? And then The Rock, for some reason, I read the word metaphor as meteor. Right? And so I'm like, oh, like that rock he got as a gift is a meteor.
Oh, this is
and it has
miracle.
like the virus in it or whatever. And so I thought the house that they were going to stay in was like the house they were going to defend off. And so I watched like 2 hours of the movie. I'm like, where's the fucking zombies? And there was no zombies, and I was super confused.
30 minutes.
Yeah, like the last 30 minutes. I'm like, oh,
so there's
maybe it's not a zombie movie.
And yeah, that's what's so crazy about Parasite is, like I said, it's one of those movies you gotta go in where you don't know much about it. It's fucking, you know what? Let's just get into how we feel about it. For me, I think it's amazing. I think it's brilliant. I love a lot of things about it. I would say it's one of the best movies of the 21st century and one of my favorites of all time. What do you guys think?
Oh, no, definitely. I think it was definitely beautifully shot. Mm-hmm. I thought that the movie was full of, like, there was a lot of things where, like, oh, like, how would I react if I was in that situation? How can I sympathize with this person? How can I sympathize with that person? And there was a lot of times where I'm like, you know what, like, I understand why they did it. So as just a casual viewer, even though I was super confused why there wasn't any zombies, like after talking about it and just trying to understand it, like I'm like, holy shit, like they are the parasites. And I'm like, oh my god, like I get it, But
I went into it like I didn't even watch the trailer. I went into it completely blind.
Yeah,
like,
same.
I think is to me like the best part about watching that film, that I was like totally like mind blown throughout the whole thing, because
figuring out what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, because like going into it, I didn't see a trailer. The only thing I really saw about it was the actual like poster, and so me going into it, I was like actually thinking it was about like some sort of like parasite or virus going on,
or a horror film.
Yeah, like,
a horror film. I thought it was
I had
scary.
Zero clue and zero knowledge of what it was going to be about.
And yeah,
and I think that's the best way to watch that movie in particular.
Exactly,
like, specifically that movie.
Because it just
watch
catches
it without
you
nothing.
so off guard.
Yeah,
I know. Like I got a good opportunity to watch it in theaters with Lawrence.
Oh yeah.
And I saw walking to the theater, I saw the actual poster, and I told Lawrence, I was like, damn, like you because you see like the black bars across like their eyes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh okay, it gives me like a Jay-Z Magna Carta like type of
What
vibe.
the fuck?
I don't know.
All people, Jay-Z.
Hey, shout outs to Jay-Z.
Shout out to Jay. But like basically when I first saw it, I also went in like without like not knowing what this film was about. and like it really shocked me. The direction was was amazing. Yep. Oh god, but the transitions and like the shots, wow, like that's shout out to my boy, man.
You know what's one shot that they repeated? Go ahead, Luis. I got you. Go.
Yeah.
What was that sound, guys? We're getting drunk. That's what we're doing. We're drinking. Almost done with mine too. So, but go on with Parasite, Antonio.
So there was a part they do it repeatedly in the shot where it's like they split the screen in half, where it's half the stairs and half the kitchen or like the living room and the stairs, and like while one person goes up, someone comes forward from the kitchen, and I really like that. Like I don't know, there's something about that's just so satisfying to watch. Like there's two worlds happening at the same time. Like
exactly.
You know,
I think
worlds.
that's how the whole film is composed, because if you think about it, like the whole film is based like on this whole social class thing where the rich are always above, like they're living on these hills and they're always like right by the sun, and then they have like the Parasite family. They're
the Kim family.
The Kim family, and they're living like in a basement. Like it's crazy, yeah.
And just to add on to that, you said that it's about social class, obviously, but what I really love about this film is how they don't really use stereotypes for the rich family or the poor family, because in a lesser film you would see the poor family as idiots and they're dumb, they don't know what they're doing, but with the Kim family they have to be smart, they have to play their cards right in order
Photoshop skills.
Dude,
the sister used a Photoshop skills, which
was amazing. I thought that was awesome.
In order to survive, they have to be smart, they have to think ahead of what their plan is. And with the Park family, with the Park family, you would see them as evil in a different film. And while some of the choices that they make, as someone who's not rich, you see it like, oh, they're being assholes, whatever. But it's just because they're so unaware of their own privilege that they don't realize, the things they say or do are somewhat affecting another family.
They really
like the
are.
smell.
The smell.
The smell the whole time.
Yeah. That, I mean, we'll get into that actually. We wrote some notes about the film.
Oh yeah, definitely. But by the way, if you want to watch the movie, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have Hulu.
Yep.
If you guys don't, ask a friend. I know they have Hulu.
Someone
I don't know. Find a way to watch the movie. It's on Hulu, and it's amazing. Like
start a free trial. Watch the movie.
Hey, 7 days.
Only for that movie. Actually,
Hulu has Atlanta. Atlanta's one of the best TV series I've ever watched. I'm gonna say it there.
Hey, that's a good.
Atlanta's is amazing.
Yeah, that.
We're talking about Parasite today, so.
Yeah, and just to add in another great film, Portrait of a Lady on Fire is on Hulu.
Oh my!
Both.
Pedro clearly loves the film, as you can tell by his
orgasmic sound.
Hold on. Wait.
That's a maravillosa.
Hey, come on.
It's a beautiful film. Maybe we'll talk about it in this podcast. I don't know. Maybe one of us recommends it. It's fantastic.
Isn't it? No, never mind. I was gonna say, wasn't it by Neon too? But
it is by Neon.
Oh, really? Okay, so I was right. All right.
Yeah.
Woo!
Good
That's
job,
one
Pedro.
for me. one for me. One shot for me.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Just to get into this film, a lot of symbolism in this movie, and just right off the bat, and what's so great about Bong Joon-ho and his direction and his writing with this film is he knows how to approach these topics, these ideas, without it feeling like he's forcing it down our throats. He does it in such a subtle and entertaining way. Right off the bat, this family is good at the Kim family. I mean, at manipulating people in order to gain from it. Right off with the pizza lady. The pizza lady, they have to think like, wait, isn't that one guy, like, he's kind of slow, whatever, he's not that good at his job. And you can see in the shot, they're all scammers. They are all getting in the shot, and they're literally...
Yeah, when he's asking for a job, right, the interview.
Yeah, but it's like kind of like flirtatious.
Yeah, I wouldn't say flirtatious, but it's like they're all like...
roaching.
Yeah, exactly. They're around her. They're making her feel like, okay, I can't move anywhere. I'm gonna give him this opportunity for an interview.
They're swarming on her.
Yeah, I love how subtle Bong Joon-ho is with his direction and just his ability to make such a message-filled film feel so entertaining.
The movie felt very real to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because like...
Because if I was in that situation, I would have been like, yeah, I probably would have done the same. And I think that's what makes a great movie. If someone could relate to it, and as someone's speaking, like, I think it's very clear to say that, like, Lawrence knows a lot about film. He dissects films for fun.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, then it just goes lower and lower. Like, Luis, maybe not as much. Pedro, not as much. And I think that's what makes a good dynamic out of all four of us is, like, I watch a film, and I watch it as in a viewer's standpoint. Like, I don't really, like, think about when I'm watching a film. Like, if it's easy to digest, then I watch a film like that. But when I see a film like Parasite, and I'm like, damn, like, they really put me... Yeah, there's so much to think about, and I want to keep thinking about it. And it puts me in that kind of perspective of, like, damn, like, what if that was me? Not like the newer movies now, because, quite frankly, like, the movies you watch now are, like, man, like... I'm not even interested because it's so saturated. Like, it's so cookie cutter. It's so...
It's like
so
fancy,
boring.
Exactly. Like, and that's where, you know, movies like... I hate to bring this one up. Joker, a lot of... When I first watched it, I was, like, speechless. I was like, oh,
Dude,
wow.
you were in love with that movie. I remember.
It.
That's
I was
crazy.
Like, oh, wow, this is actually pretty great. And then you watch it...
But it's pretty good.
I'm not gonna say it's not. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a fine movie. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm already a little drunk.
This dude almost tipped over our whole podcast.
Okay, so back to just the topic. Yeah, with a film like Joker, it's in your face. It's not subtle.
In your face. I don't know if you can hear it.
This dude's all the way in the back by the fridge.
Yeah, it's not as subtle as a film like Parasite, and they go for the same themes. You know, the social class, poverty. But with Joker, it's just so cookie cutter and basic, and you know, it's just not as entertaining. It doesn't feel as realistic of a situation as a film like Parasite, which I really appreciate with just the overall feeling of this film.
And you can tell they put a lot of work into this film, and like, I'm not saying that they don't put a lot of work into films, but this one, like, specifically,
everything.
Set design.
I was just gonna bring that
I was gonna get into that.
Can
Come on.
we please talk about the set design?
The house.
The house is beautifully made.
Not even just the house, the
whole
semi-basement and the alleyway.
When they flooded.
This movie is based in a set.
So for the most
This movie is my aesthetics, Bear.
It's the production design for Parasite. I don't know if you guys know this.
All right.
There goes another.
Oh wait, here comes mine.
There goes another drink.
Oh, here goes... No, I'm just kidding.
So, with the production design of Parasite...
Oh my god, this smells good. I'm drinking a Truly's, not sponsored, grapefruit. I love grapefruit. It's so good. But anyway, go ahead, Lawrence.
With the production design of Parasite, I don't know if you guys know this, well, not you guys, but the people listening, the house was built
from scratch
for this film.
Oh, no shit.
And not just that, the semi-basement, the alleyway where, like, the flood happens, that's a set. Because they can't flood a real fucking alleyway. It's not gonna happen.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Like, if you're going to the slums and you're like, I'll give everyone like $1,000 if you let me flood your fucking house.
Everyone's like, yeah. I was like, oh, what the fuck? That's this much.
And that is why we didn't make Parasite.
That is why we did not.
I thought that was amazing. Like,
I know, yeah.
Just looking at it, I'm like, damn, this is sick.
It's a great scene, and it means so much already. But we're getting ahead of ourselves because there's so much ahead of that is fantastic. You know what I really love about this movie is the shift in tones. There's so many different types of.
You should see Pedro's face.
I just keep on raising my hands. I don't know why.
He's excited. Professor! So real quick, before we just want to put this out there. With the shift of tones of Parasite, at first it kind of feels comedic. It feels like we're watching a comedy because it's funny. It's funny movie.
Is.
But then we'll shift to something kind of like it's like the scene where I call it the tuberculosis scene, where they bring they put the peach fuzz on the maid, and she gets like an allergic reaction from it. That scene, it feels like a choreographed dance. The way the music and the editing, the way the whole scene is structured, it doesn't feel like an afterthought. It feels like every single thing that went into that whole scene is thought out. well executed, and it's 7 minutes. It's not a
Whoa,
short.
that did not feel like 7 minutes.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Exactly. It
Because
never
it was
feels
so
like it.
suspenseful, and it was almost like, you know, when you watch a spy movie and like that music comes on and it's like, all right, they're doing what they're doing. You know, it felt like everything, all the pieces were coming together. You know, first it started with the son, and then the daughter, and then the father, and then the mother. I'm like, damn, their plan is finally coming into fruition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sorry. Go.
Well, I just want to say one thing, like what Lawrence was talking about, like transition and stuff like that. I just kind of noticed something like, because I know they were referencing a lot about the sky. Well, like one quote that I got is like gazing at the sky from home, but they were actually at the Paris, like they were actually at the like
The Park family.
yeah, the Parks family house instead of like their house. And then
when he's just relaxing,
and
kicking back.
it's I noticed that like everything was going well, like all of like everyone got into like a good like paid job and stuff like that, and they were all, like at that point where they were like all relaxing like at the house together, right?
Yeah.
But then a lightning strikes, right? And then it starts raining, but then that's when everything just literally goes downhill.
Wow, I didn't catch that.
to be honest.
And you know what? That's just
TBH.
that's the beauty of a film like this is you'll watch it. You guys have seen it twice now, right?
Right,
Yeah.
I've seen it twice.
I've seen it. I want to say now 5 times.
Wow.
Dude, you're ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I rewatch a lot of.
I
movies.
can't watch a movie more than once. Like,
Okay, one
it's hard
thing
for me.
One thing about Lawrence is this man watches the movie until I don't know, like he'll watch a movie.
They think I watch a movie until I hate it.
No,
someone-
he really does.
No,
He
I
really-
don't.
Because
You
every
really
time he
don't.
watches
I
a
don't.
movie, he's looking for flaws to drop.
No, that's not
explore.
true.
Yes,
That's
is.
not true.
Someone pay my man Lawrence, please, to watch some fucking movies, because
That's not
that's his passion.
true.
You need to start watching the movies we recommend you instead of watching these bad movies.
You
what
know,
bad movies am I watching?
A lot.
Off topic. We'll get to that after this fucking discussion.
You know, like my stupid brain, like what part stuck out to me the most? There's 2 parts, but I'll talk about one. Like before they went on the camping trip, he was like, "Hey," the wife, she was like, "Hey, you need to feed the dogs." For some reason, the names fucking stood out to me, and because like I like how she said it. Like she said it so like
cute.
Yeah, she said it so cutesy because she was obviously Korean trying to speak like English, and she was like Barry, Zuni, Fufu. And for some reason, I'm like, I'm gonna name my next
And
dog
just
Fufu.
to bring back the character of the Park family, the wife, her character is really interesting to me because the first time you see her, she's
Wow, very polite.
Before Lauren goes on, I just want to add a quote that they specifically described the tutor before described the mom as young and simple.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm gonna go with this. So the first time you see the mom, she's asleep. She's passed out outside. And
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm so
motherfucker!
sorry.
That part was so funny to me. I don't know why.
No, it's me. I thought she was like gonna be like the first zombie. So when I saw her, I'm like, all right, zombie number 1. I'm like, here we go. Yeah, I'm like,
were
there
so
we go.
disappointed.
And she wakes up, and I'm like,
She's not a
I'm like,
zombie.
she doesn't look like a
What the
zombie.
hell was this?
I'm like, what am I watching? And I turn around like in the theater, and like, mind you, I'm the only one in the theater. Literally the only one in the theater. I'm like, where are all the zombies?
Or what theater again? What theater?
I went AMC, but then again, like I went at like 1 p.m. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So to bring back what before the whole zombie talk, the mom we first see her asleep.
I'm drunk.
And she wakes up, and I think having her for the first time shown in the film asleep kind of just it paints her character so well because she is a person who is unaware of her privilege. She's unaware of even culture.
Check your privilege. But why are you sleeping outside? Like
For real.
You walk 50 feet and you'll go to your bed.
Now hold on.
Okay,
Let me
thought of everything.
explain. Let me explain
Yeah, I think I know
why
where you're
I
going.
think like about that whole thing. There's a couple times in the movie, I think I want to say maybe more than twice, where she is asleep in the film, and when she wakes up, it's like she's so unaware, like she can just fall asleep wherever she wants. It doesn't matter.
She doesn't like. She's not worried about anything really.
Exactly, and what's so great too.
Yeah, I agree.
Another thing that I put.
Cheers.
Another thing I put down in my notes was
excuse me.
the fucking
Wow.
I'm trying to get this point across.
Okay,
Hey, do you think they got sponsors from A6 because like that was the brand of the socks?
Oh.
That's what I look for. I look for money.
Branding?
I look for branding. So I saw A6.
Oh, A6.
And I saw what else did I see? Oh damn, I'm drawing a blank.
No.
Oh man, I forgot.
No, but they're really clever because they're really.
What's that? What's that?
They were. They're really subtle about it though. That's the thing, because like I didn't really pay attention to that.
I saw it.
I don't know if that's just me, but
No, but
like,
when I
they're
watch
really
a movie,
subtle.
I think I see all the brands because like
Me too, but like with this film,
I'm
I'm
a
really
Mercedes brands. Oh, the Mercedes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say. Well,
And those cars drive nice. I have to say, those cars drive nice.
I feel really bad for the little boy. There, I said it.
What do you mean?
Well, like, all right. Given the man's like, the little guy, like, you know how you got traumatized in the beginning, like his first birthday.
Dude, those
at
eyes
home?
were scary.
His
That was scary.
I'm not sure if we're gonna put spoilers on here or anything.
Well, too late. Yeah, it's already spoiler.
I already said there's spoilers.
Okay, so
Once
like,
again, spoiler
So like
alert.
in spoiler alert. So like in the beginning, the mom was talking about like with the art therapy. She was talking about like like the little boy when they had like their birthday like at home, he got really scared because something like
A ghost.
a ghost scared him, right? But then when their camp got flooded, when they wanted to go celebrate the little boy's birthday, they came back home. They were like, you know what? Let's go celebrate like the little boy's birthday here. And then the whole massacre started happening and everything, and I just feel bad for the boy, bro.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. But you know what I find interesting?
Hey, sucks to suck, I guess.
Shut the fuck up. So I still haven't got my point across about the mom. I don't know if you guys noticed when the little boy is introduced, he's playing with a bow and arrow, and she says that he's a fanatic of Indians. She's like, oh, he's a real.
Well, very uncultural, you know.
But that-
It's
exactly
supposed to be Native Americans.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Wow.
That's the thing too. She's so unaware of culture.
She really is.
She's unaware.
Oh wow, yeah.
She's
Oh,
unaware.
you're right.
She's unaware of
Young and
culture.
simple.
She says like, "Oh,
Wow,
he's a fanatic of Indians." When it's literally, it's a culture. It's not just like, oh, it's something to be a fan of. She even, I don't know if you noticed this, but you know,
It's not like dinosaurs or like space or
exactly.
something. It's
It's someone's culture. And that's
Thank you,
just how
Lawrence.
that's how unaware she is of just people. And
Wow.
one thing that I also caught was, you know how in the scene when they're all hiding from the family because they come back from the camping trip, he goes outside to sleep outside, and what she calls the thing he sleeps in, a tent. It's not a tent.
It is
called,
not.
It's called a teepee.
Exactly.
It's-
Or a wigwam.
Jeez.
I don't even know what you just
It's
said.
a wigwam.
Hey, get your cultures, man.
Yeah, get your culture.
check.
Ever been to San
Off topic.
Ever been to the
Off-
San Bernardino motel?
Yeah, the wigwams. It's like the last one.
Okay.
Wigwams.
Before you head back to your topic,
That's another
Nice.
drink.
that was a nice one.
There's a part in the movie where I'm like, how does this happen? Well, there's two actually, but there's one more than the other. Okay, you know when the house is flooded, and the sun, the rock floats up. Rocks don't float.
What the hell?
That's
Rocks
you know,
don't
what does that
float.
mean?
Like,
That
what does that mean,
Lawrence,
Lawrence?
That
please
brings
explain.
What does that mean?
Shut up. That brings up a really good point. Someone said this, and I don't
Because
know.
unless it's like pompous or
I
whatever it's
don't-
called, like
I don't know
like
if I agree
meteor,
with it.
like
What is it?
lava.
Someone
What?
said that
Let me hear it. Go.
that the rock is hollow.
Okay, so only
know what?
only lava rocks are hollow. I don't know what it's called, like pompous or something.
No.
Fucking science
But
major,
no,
fuck outta here.
I honestly no. I think
That's
And
actually
those
called a
don't float.
geology
because
major.
at the beginning of the film, I thought that this rock was like this whole movie was gonna be centered on the rock.
I thought it was a meteor.
Isn't it?
No, I thought like, oh, this is actually gonna give them wealth, and like, yeah, the rock is brought up, but I don't think the rock really has a lot to do in this film. Or do you? Like,
isn't
what-
it crazy how like the guy who got gifted the rock got like fucking slammed in the head
But
with the rock?
That's what they say. He got beat over the head with his own metaphor. That's why. That's why he said. That's why.
You know what? It's his fault for being a nice guy. Because he wanted... Oh, it's called igneous. I'm sorry. I don't know why I heard pompous. I don't know what pompous means.
I think
that's one like that city got destroyed.
Oh, no, that's
Pompeii, you fucking idiot. Okay, that's
Igneous.
whatever. He gets beat over the head with his own metaphor. And because he sees this rock, bringing wealth, he's like, wow, this is so metaphorical.
It worked for me, so maybe it might work for him, you know?
Yeah, and that's what he's... in a way, it does bring a sense of wealth to their family. I love how these little things come back to the message of the film.
We talked a little bit about like some of the parts of the film that we enjoyed and what we thought about it. I just want to know what your guys' is like cinematography type deal. What is your favorite aspect of the film? Like, to me, the whole like lighting situation was a huge part of the film because
definitely.
Like to me, the cinematography was based around like how lit say a shot was produced, like
it's lit.
Like a lot of poverty, and again going back to what we were talking about first in this whole like social class type of deal. A lot of the film to me, and I'm pretty sure it is to a lot of people, is it's shot in different like lighting situations, because when I see like when they're it's the Parks family, right, the house, there's always sunlight. They're always around like a sunny day. It's beautiful day. Yeah, it's open weather. It's beautiful.
A lot of greenery too.
Yeah, but when you go to like the Kim family, correct?
The Kim family.
The Kim family, they're always like in this gloomy like type of weather. It's either raining, and like that shot where it's raining and they have like that one drunk dude just pissing all over the place. That just seems like a shitty place to be at. But when you're at the Parks family, like you're at your own house. Their walls are nice and high. Privacy is everything to them. Like they don't mind anything at their own house. They can do whatever they want.
Can I bring something up real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, there's this other idea of the film that comes into the topic of crossing the line. The dad.
He almost does, but he never does.
Of the Park family, yeah, he says that. It's important that people who work for him like don't cross the line. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's actual lines in the film. There when Mr. Kim goes to his work, the building of like
the glass door
there's literally
like the
line where the Park Mr. Park is in his office and he's waiting. Mr. Kim waiting outside. And there's literally a line that is dividing them. And even in the car, they're dividing by he's in the back seat and Mr. Kim's in the front seat.
And Mr. Kim talks about the line, how he's like, hey, like, talking about the driver, the previous driver.
That's
he's
Mr.
like,
Park.
Hey, Mr. Park, he's like, hey, if you want to have sex in your part of the car, that's fine. But why by seat? Exactly. That's crossing the line.
But that's another thing, too, I want to bring up. Actually, let's go to that sex thing.
Sell drugs to me.
That's exactly what I want to talk about.
The fantasy of being poor or just being like some like.
That's exactly what I want to talk about. There's when they first talk about what the fuck?
No, oh man. You know when you're like that part of the drunk where you're seeing everything in like slow motion? Not slow motion, but like blurs. I'm at that point, which is pretty good for me, but don't ask me to drive a car because I'll fucking kill everyone inside of it.
So
cut that.
No, we're not cutting anything. Nothing's uncut.
We might, just to keep it on topic. But with the what was I talking about? So when they first find the panties in the car that Jessica had planted, the Park family, the wife and the husband, they're both disgusted by it. They're like, oh, what if this person was like a crack addict? What if, this and that? What if she was a whore? And then later on in the film, this is the other thing I love about the movie. Every single thing about the film is important. Even a really awkward sex scene.
Even the melon that they ate?
Shut up.
Okay.
Even the sex scene that is really awkward. It's really weird how they have sex. It
was weird.
It means something because
normal to me. I don't know.
So they're having sex and they're kind of like fetishizing the idea of being poor.
All right, let's be poor.
They're making the idea of being poor a fetish. She's like, he's saying like, oh, wear those
Cheap panties.
panties.
Yeah.
And she's like, buy me drugs. When just early in the film they were disgusted by the idea.
Right.
So now that it's such a strange thing because they are unaware of their privilege, but they're aware of the fact that these things that people are actually going through are just a kink. It's like a kink to them. It's nothing to them.
That's so crazy.
Wait, going back to like before you were talking about how like lines, I don't know why, but like for some reason the smell keeps on bothering me because I feel like there's something like there because I remember before they had the sex scene, they were like he was talking to like his wife and he was like, yeah, like I always like everyone that works for me being like behind the line, but for some reason the driver's smell always crosses the line.
Yeah, no.
Lawrence, you might know just because you dissect films more than probably any of us here.
Okay.
Oh shit, I forgot. Damn, fuck, I hate being drunk. Damn. God damn, I forgot what I was about to say.
Damn, Kendrick Lamar.
Damn, that's good.
One of Lawrence Serrano's favorite albums, of course.
It's a good album. I like that one.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so almost towards the end of the movie, the dad says, "With no plan, nothing can go wrong."
I agree. That's how I like to live my life. Very loose plans, because you can't be disappointed if everything goes wrong, because you never set yourself up for success. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know
how we're setting up this podcast.
How? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If this goes wrong,
it's gonna go terribly. That's what
this is gonna go way downhill.
No, this is gonna be pretty good if we don't cut anything.
I feel like this specific scene, to me, it was huge. I think it was huge to a lot of people because like when we watched it at the movie theater, you can tell people reacted to it. The scene where.
Were they clapping?
No,
I hate when people clap in movie theaters.
When the maid,
yeah.
When she falls down the stairs. When no, but not just because she falls down the stairs. And that was fine because everyone was like, oh, like not okay, but obviously like no one really reacted to her falling.
Right.
Everyone reacted when you heard the thud, like.
And that's what that's what I love about the shift in tone.
Everyone was like, whoa.
The shift in tone is perfect because at first it's used for comedic effect. She kicks her down and it's like, oh, it's funny.
Because you felt that. You felt it.
Yeah, you heard the...
But the moment she hits her head, it's no longer funny. Ooh. It's serious.
Yeah, you hear everyone go...
And it's not... And what's funny, what's so great about Parasite is the shift in tone, it doesn't feel out of place. It feels like...
It's choreographed perfectly.
It's structured so fucking... And we haven't even talked about the biggest fucking twist of the movie. I realized that.
Which one?
The basement. The downstairs guy in the basement.
The man.
Respect!
She eats enough for 2 people?
Yeah, she eats enough for 2 people.
Wait, I don't understand that part. I probably wasn't paying attention to that part of the movie.
You know how there's a guy in the basement?
Oh, the Mrs. Kim?
That's not the same person.
Oh, no.
I actually don't know her name in the movie. We're just going to call her the first maid.
No. I mean the wife.
Me and Pedro are going to go take a piss.
Wow. You guys are going to cross streams. Pedro and Luis are taking a potty break, amateurs. But anyways, what were you trying to say, Lawrence?
So with the, what was I going to say?
I'm back. Pedro's taking a piss in the bathroom.
You could go pee outside like an animal. I don't know.
I'm not going to pee outside. Okay, go on, Lawrence.
So, with the first maid and,
Respect. That's my favorite part of the whole movie.
How do you know my name? Respect!
No. Okay, go ahead, Lawrence. No, go ahead.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
I'm allowing you to go ahead. Go.
I'm kind of getting buzzed. That's the thing.
How?
You're kind of getting buzzed?
You only drink 2.
No, I didn't.
What is that?
This is my 3rd one.
3rd. Wow.
Wow, 3? Really?
But I chugged the first 2. So
okay,
well, we,
I'm on,
chugged
number
more
6.
Okay, whatever.
Respect.
Back to the film.
Oh, Luis, why would you do that?
Back to the film.
Watch this.
Luis pointed like a super bright LED light into Lawrence's face. I don't know if you heard that, but that's my tricked out bicycle.
And that's time for our sponsors.
No,
Today's sponsor is brought to you by Notorious Nini.
That's me. I provided everything.
Okay, another thing, bringing that I want to talk about Parasite, and I'm not sure if you guys caught it too, but I don't want to say it's like a theme or anything, but it's like a kind of like a subtle theme is technology. Because I know like in the beginning, like when they were trying to do like the pizza boxes, right? They relied so much on technology, trying to get the Wi-Fi going on, watching like a lady trying to do boxes, right?
That's true.
And then like after the lightning strikes and everything like goes downhill, they relied, that lady, she started recording them, right? With their phone, and that they could have sent the message, and that could have totally like destroyed their entire lives.
Right. She used the metaphor as like
It's like an atomic bomb.
From like North Korea. Like they had all the power.
Can we talk about that scene real quick?
Yeah.
And then we'll get more towards the ending stuff, because we definitely
We've been going on for a little while.
we jumped all over the place with this movie, but just to
Respect.
so that scene when they have the atomic bomb reference, and they're gonna send the message to the Park family. There's a great editing thing that I love, and it's when they're talking about how they are ruining the atmosphere that the previous owner before the Park family built in the house. And she's like, they don't. The guy in the basement says they don't understand. We used to appreciate this place, and then it cuts to them before. When
like
they're
dancing,
when
right?
they're dancing that song, and there's this great editing choice where they're sitting down, they're drinking like coffee,
Very
and then
beautiful shot.
and then the guy in the basement looks to the left where the Park family is, but they're still in the flashback, and then it cuts back to the fucking mom.
Right.
Bursting into what they're
Getting tackled.
Yeah, getting tackled. It was such a great. Oh god, I love the editing of this movie.
Yeah.
It's edited, like I said, like a choreographed dance. Nothing feels like an afterthought. It feels like everything was planned. Every piece of dialogue, every set piece feels just so necessary. I love. Oh god, I love Parasite. But just to get towards the ending of the film, so. The one of the main characters, Kevin, he has like this.
Is Kevin the main character?
No, Kevin is not the main character. Kevin's the son.
I don't feel like there's a specific main character. I feel like everyone's a main character. I mean, of course,
They're all
like the
one.
mom.
They're a parasite. They're all one.
That's one thing.
Wow. Very
Whoa!
intellectual.
Okay, that's a shot.
So with the that's one thing about the film that I wish would have gotten more attention is the acting. I mean the movie Parasite won. What was it? I think it was is it the SAG Award? Is that the one with their actors? Well, there's an award ceremony where it's mostly about performances and like actors, and they won the best ensemble cast, which means like, oh, they're the best cast out of all the other films, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, all those movies. And I wish the performances would have gotten more attention for their acting, because I think some of the best performances were in Parasite, like the dad of the Kim family. I think he's fantastic. Also Jessica.
You know what part I really dig the dad in? When they were trying to the peach scene when he was shopping, because he's the driver.
Yes.
When he was shopping with the wife, when he was trying to rehearse his lines, I thought that part was fantastic, because that family is so like not fake, but they're so fake in the sense that they're trying to get inside of the Kim family. They're performing. It's all a ruse. It's all a ruse.
And they're like they're practicing their lines.
They're practicing exactly
their lines.
So when the son was like, "Hey, you're up top. You're 10 out of 10. You need to drag that shit down just a little bit."
So
I thought that was amazing. I'm like, damn, this is a good scene.
Funny thing about that scene, when they're practicing their lines, the dad, the actor of the dad, I don't know his name. I do know his name, but I don't want to pronounce it. It's like I can't pronounce it. The dad of the Kim family. He is a well-respected actor in Korea.
Oh, really?
And the son of the Kim family, you know how he's like,
they did win the SAG.
They did win SAG.
Yeah.
Okay, so the son of the Kim family, you know how he said that.
Yeah.
You know how they said that they're up. He's up here. You gotta come down here. that's the actor for that kid. He is an up and rising star in like Korea. It's kind of funny how a person that's rising in fame is telling someone who's already like a veteran in acting how to act. I think it's a funny scene.
And going back to like what Antonio was talking about, like how like they're trying to like go into like the actual like house and stuff like that. Like they're pushing like everyone in.
Okay.
Well, I find it kind of crazy how like before like the actual
We're gonna have to cut a little bit of that.
how before like can I fucking talk? How before
Can I speak my shit again?
so like how like towards the end, like kind of like before like the night, no, actually after the lightning strike, they were talking about like if you're married, because you know how like the tutor was trying to flirt with the girl and they were like kissing and stuff like that.
Right.
They were saying like, oh, if you marry this girl, you're gonna get the house, and then we can all move in. So it's kind of showing like, okay, you already have everyone in the house already working in this house, but if you marry this girl, you're going to be able to have this actual house, and then we can all move in together.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Before Lawrence give his actual, like, his fucking professional, like, ending, can I, what, like, me as a person watching the fucking movie, why did he stab Mr. fucking Kim?
That is
because
we're gonna get into that.
Because if it was me, like, even though I'm like so dazed and confused, because Mr. Kim was like dazed and confused, I wouldn't stab him. Like,
No.
I'm mad at him because of the class separation, whatever. Because he's like, stinky, whatever. Like, I wouldn't stab the guy. Like, what the fuck? So like, that's too much.
Before we get it's a little bit with Just let's talk about the ending real quick, and then we'll get right back into that because the ending has a lot to do. So the ending is basically a party for the Park family's son.
Over.
They throw a party for their son, and then the guy in the basement comes out from the basement and hurts Kevin. He throws a rock on his head.
He hurts everyone, dude.
Yeah.
He beats his ass.
And then
Jessica, and then
so
Mom.
he comes and he stabs Jessica, and he's yelling out for the mom of the Kim family to come out and like reveal herself.
That part was intense.
So, with that scene, you know what I love too, and it just goes perfect with this social class message. Right when, you know how the son of the Park family is having a seizure?
Okay.
You know what's funny is...
Oh, it's funny now?
No.
Okay.
So,
explain yourself.
The rich people, even the dad of the Park family, he picks up the son and he jumps over Jessica's body.
Yeah.
Kind of like he doesn't even realize that she's there.
Right.
It doesn't matter to them. They want to
When?
At the party.
I thought
he was more, he cared more about his son than he did someone getting stabbed.
Oh, okay.
Because and then he even tells Mr. Kim, obviously this is another thing too. They're not bad people because they literally are unaware of the fact that they don't know who these people actually are. They're only aware of what they say they are.
They don't know that they're related, you know?
Yeah, so he's like, Mr. Kim, let's go. You need to drive to the hospital. Mr. Kim is like, what the fuck? This is my daughter. But of course he doesn't know that. But then what really sets him off, what really pushes him to stab Mr. Park, is when he picks up the guy from the basement's body to get the keys. He's like disgusted by the smell.
Yeah, the dude probably stinks. He hasn't showered in 4 years. But that's another thing too.
He had said before that Mr. Kim's smell...
That crosses a line.
It crosses a line.
Okay.
So
but if it was me, I don't care who you are. If you're rich or you're what, if you haven't showered in 4 years, you're probably fucking stink.
But think about it, like
I am thinking about it.
He realized that.
Yeah, but I understand what you're trying to say.
At that moment, he realized that Mr. Park just doesn't fucking care about these people.
He really
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't.
And he just it's kind of like
he's so disconnected from reality.
Think about it. He just
it's all business.
Think about everything. Think about everything that has happened around Mr. Kim. He's just saw his son being taken away by the daughter because he had his head all bleeding. It was bleeding and stuff. His daughter's on the ground bleeding to death because she was stabbed. And then this one moment of Mr. Kim, not Mr. Kim, Mr. Park, disgusted by someone's smell. And when he just previously mentioned that he's disgusted by Mr. Kim's smell, he was like, fuck this guy, he needs to die. And obviously he didn't mean to do it because it was just in the heat of the moment. and he stabs him, and
that was absolutely
you can
insane.
easily say something like, oh, if he wouldn't have done that, it wouldn't have been as bad. But think about it. Be in his place, having someone talk about your smell, having someone talk about how, like, you're kind of lower than them, treating you like actual shit. Even the scene prior to that, when he's telling him,
he's like, this is a job.
This is your
job.
You're getting paid.
Exactly.
You're getting
really
paid for
is.
this. Do your fucking job.
It really is.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
It's degrading, you know?
It's basically
It is degrading.
It's like inhumane of like kind of like making a person like feel like less than you, even though like I get it that you're rich. And
That's
stuff
probably
like
why
that.
he's so pissed at the
exactly.
end.
That's what he's. And then it's, oh man, Parasite.
Yeah.
It go back to like the whole like topic of like social class. Bam, hit it, Luis.
Ooh. So the ending.
I love the ending so much.
Mr. Kim
Oh, yeah, dude.
flees the scene, but he doesn't. He escapes into the.
He dupes him.
I was confused when that happened. The whole ending part. Like at first, I was like, "What?"
He escapes into the basement where the other guy was, and he just he stays there.
He's the parasite.
They're all
But they've been all parasites all along. Wow.
One thing that I really took from the kind of like epilogue area of the film where everything's over now, the mother and the son are on probation. They what?
Breaking news: Water, Earth, Fire, Air. All 3 seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender are coming to Netflix in the U.S. on May 15th.
That's what's up. Let's go.
Continue.
I've never seen the last.
Wow.
I haven't seen it like in an order. I've seen it like as a kid I would watch it, but you know, as a kid I
That series is amazing.
Yeah. Go on.
Good.
Go on.
So
Go on, Lawrence.
the ending of Parasite, it ends with the.
I'm sorry, Lawrence. I thought the movie should have ended 20 seconds earlier because then it would have made everyone happy. Because then it would have been like
Exactly.
he got his fucking house and whatever. Like they got it.
Let me get into that.
But then 20 seconds later, it's all fucking. It comes back to reality.
But that's the purpose of this whole idea of social class and capitalism.
I just want to be happy when I watch a movie. Like, I don't want to fucking be sad.
The Kim family got a taste of wealth. They got a taste of making money.
Yeah, that's true.
And that little taste gave Kevin the idea that he'll make enough money to buy that house, when in reality he will never obtain the amount of success.
Hey, who knows? Maybe he will. What if he goes back to college and gets his...
Going back to that, actually, what I kind of wrote down on my notes is that, like, in the beginning of the film, when, like, after the sister did, like, the whole Photoshop skill, the boy goes to the dad saying, like, hey, like, I'm gonna go, I can't, like, this is just fake, this is just temporary, I'm gonna go back to university, and the dad kind of was, like, laughing about it, saying, like, oh, you're never gonna do that.
Right.
I think about it. They're under probation. They're criminals of a pretty bad crime now, and then they have the detectives watching them. They're never gonna obtain the success that they had before. They're never gonna go to. He's never gonna go to a university. They won't accept him. But that's the point of the film. The capitalistic mindset of people when they obtain a little bit of success. They think that they'll always have it. They think that they'll always make the money that they need to be successful. He thinks that he'll buy that house, and just that idea of yes, I'm gonna buy that house is keeping him alive, keeping him going. The sad reality of Parasite: the dad, Mr. Kim, will always be in that basement. He'll probably die there. The son will never obtain the amount of success that he had before. They are stuck.
What a buzzkill.
In the basement. He's stuck in the semi-basement. It's just
They're back at
it's
where
such
Trapped in the closet. R. Kelly.
He's such a sad.
Like,
It's such a sad reality. It's a sad reality, and I think that's just the purpose of the film.
Recommendation.
So now we have every podcast. We're gonna do this thing where we recommend a film.
Here we go.
What we have to do is we have to watch the film, and then we'll talk about the film in the next podcast. But before we do that, real quick, what's our rating on Parasite? For me, I like to go by Letterboxd's rating, which is
I don't know what that means.
follow Lawrence on Letterboxd at.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, well, if
Follow
you know
Lawrence
what it means,
at Box Lunch at.
Shut up.
Box Lunch is a clothing store.
As you can fucking tell, we're kind of drunk already. So, real quick, Out of 5 stars, or out of whatever rating you want. It can be out of 10 stars. It can be.
No, it has to be the same. If everyone does 5,
That's not true.
Yes, it is, because if 5 is not 10, because of it's like 1 out of 5, that's 2 out of 10.
I will.
Okay, can we just give the actual rating?
Out of 10. Out of 10.
No,
out of 10.
No, it's out of 5.
Whoa,
sorry.
Fuck. Okay.
I go by Letterboxd.
Lawrence, go.
So
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Letterboxd is the app I use to review films. So out of 5 stars, I give this movie 5.
Okay.
I think it's perfect. I love it. Well, that's just. It's one of the best films of the 21st century.
All right, Antonio.
All right, too easy. Out of 5, I think it's a hard 4.5. I think you know what? Coming up as a consumer, I was like, where are the zombies? I think it should have been a zombie movie. With that being said, 4.5. It was beautifully shot. I thought the colors were great. I thought the story was great. I understood everything, and even though I was confused, I understand everything. You know what? And for me, I fucking digged it. I had to read a little bit, but it was awesome. Go ahead, Luis.
You know what? I really enjoyed the film, and I don't know. Every time Lawrence brings me into a film, I want to deny liking it, but
Because it's Lawrence. I get
it's
you.
Lawrence, but you know, I truly liked it, and you know, at the time, this is when the whole like I remember watching it before the Academy Awards, just because I remember you saying like, which one do you think it's gonna? What do you think is gonna win? And you kept saying Parasite was gonna win. And you know, I was a little confused still because I wasn't really sure. I saw a couple. I didn't see all of them, but I saw a lot of the films that were coming out at the time. But you know what? To be honest, I did like Parasite, and it was clever. It's a clever film.
Exactly.
And so to me, like, although I didn't want to admit it at the time, just because I wanted to piss you off, it was good. I liked it. And I'm going to give it a rating of... Damn, this is hard. I don't want to give it a perfect score.
What's holding you back from perfect
I don't
score?
know. You know what? 5 out of 5. Fuck it. My second score is going to be a 4.5.
You
just
know,
to piss off Lawrence.
So
You know, but before Pedro gives his review, I don't want to say... Oh, man. I don't want to say it's a perfect movie. It's close. But in this age, in this time of movie making, people, especially Hollywood, American cinema, they're lagging it. So it's taking someone, a foreigner, Korean film, Japanese film, Italian film, whoever, it's Spanish film, they're making movies right for the right reasons. I think us as Americans...
It's a profit.
I think us as Americans, we're making movies for money.
Cheers to foreign film.
And foreign films are making movies for the love of it. They're making movies because they want to make movies. They're making movies because they want to tell a story.
Hey, who are those?
We're not making movies anymore to tell a story. We're making movies to make fucking money.
Shout out to the Méliès brothers.
And shout out to the Méliès. George Méliès.
So Pedro, what's your rating for Parasite?
Okay, so
I have to pee so bad.
I gotta pee so bad.
Please go.
my rating. Well,
Don't point the light at me.
Antonio, shush.
I'm so drunk.
I can tell.
okay. For me, the score was perfect. Cinematography was perfect. The set design was perfect. The acting was really good.
Yes.
Directing was good. The screenplay was good. For me, honestly, I can't find any flaws within the movie. I don't know if anyone else or like the viewers right now could like find any flaws towards Parasite, but for me personally, I can't find any flaws. I think it's a well directed overall I'll say it. It's a perfect movie. 5 out of 5. That's my score.
That's awesome. I agree with your score. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you can find a flaw with any movie, but when a movie is this good, you got to accept. You can look over those flaws. But now we're going to get into the part of the podcast where we recommend a film, and we'll be talking about it, reviewing it, rating it in the next podcast. And the first recommendation is going to go to Antonio. So
That's me. All right.
What's your recommendation for the next podcast?
So, it was really hard trying to find a recommendation because I wanted it to be perfect in every single way. I wanted someone to watch my recommendation and be like, yeah, like I understand why he recommended the podcast. So I had maybe 5 movies I wanted to recommend, documentary, and I was like, you know what? a lot of people don't like documentaries. Documentaries are my favorite. You know, Luis.
Disclaimer: Lawrence is currently pissing his pants right
Bro,
now.
hurry the fuck
Dude,
up.
I gotta go too. No.
Go to the bathroom.
Lawrence,
Go.
Why don't we just go to?
And this recommendation goes
Okay,
to.
why don't we just go-
I'm sorry. Can we pause it for a second?
No, Lawrence.
I have to pee.
Lawrence.
That doesn't matter. We went
Okay.
on when me and Pedro went.
I'll end it, dude. 2 minutes.
No, wait.
Go.
Okay,
Talk
okay.
about something else.
We'll talk.
Okay, go. So
And on today's podcast,
So I had about 5 movies I wanted to recommend. Documentary, maybe not everyone likes documentary. Movies that you had to rent. And I was like, you know what? Maybe, everybody might not be able to rent the movie. But for some reason, whether it was this or that, I felt that this movie was very cookie cutter. And I'm like, you know what? Let's watch a cookie cutter movie. I was like, you know what? Me personally, and I know Lawrence when he comes back is gonna have a different opinion. I don't like independent films because for me, for the most part, they're all the same. They're very cookie cutter. But okay, anyways, enough talking. The movie I'm going to recommend is on Hulu again. Which if you're gonna watch Parasite, you're gonna watch what's it called? This movie because it's on there.
quick stall.
Okay, quick stall.
Quick stall because Lawrence isn't here.
Okay, quick stall.
We are currently, we finished.
Holy shit! It's 4:4. It's not 4. It's 3:44.
It's
We finished a couple of.
Wait, let's count how many we finished.
We finished.
lot more.
No.
Movie-
We finished a couple 6-packs of.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
we finished 12. We finished
Let me see.
12. Hold on, I'll count. Don't worry. No, I'll count. I'm good at counting.
Okay.
1,
It's 2 6-packs. 12.
4,
I'm back. I'm sorry.
5.
We're counting our drinks.
Okay.
Seven.
Has he recommended the film yet?
He has not.
Okay, we're done.
Hold on. Let him
10,
just
11,
finish.
12, 13, 14.
Oh man, that was a great pick.
14.
Okay.
And for his recommendation.
Okay, for my recommendation, which is on Hulu, which Parasite is on Hulu, starring Nick Offerman, is called Hearts Beats Loud. It's an independent film. And it's
What?
Hearts Beats Loud.
Hearts beats loud.
Never heard of it.
And it's hella cookie cutter. And it's hella independent. Because, why? It takes place in Chicago, which every independent movie takes place in Chicago. But I think it's such a fun, easy movie to watch where it's like, it's such a feel-good movie. Mm-hmm. And I think if anybody could watch it at any time of the day, whether they're tired or they want to watch a good movie, it's a good movie. I think it's a fantastic movie. But it's cookie cutter. You know, it plays to all the tropes. But you know what? Seeing Nick Offerman make music is something
Offerman
so
from
awesome.
Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec.
Okay, just making sure.
That's my movie recommendation.
So, you guys heard it here. The recommendation for the next podcast will be Hearts Beats Loud. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. So, if you don't want to be spoiled for the next conversation of this podcast, go watch it on Hulu. Thank you guys for listening.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more podcasts. I want to do this every week, if we can. Hopefully, I think we can do it. It's easy. I apologize if we got off topic. We're a little drunk.
But hey, that's about life. Sometimes you can't.
Hey, you know what? That's life. That's life.
Okay, so that's basically it for the podcast. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the discussion of Parasite as much as I did. It's
I don't have a fucking can of drink.
It's a great film. I'm glad that you guys listen. Thank you guys so much, and join us next time for Hearts Beats Loud for the next discussion.
All right.
Clink.
Thank you guys.
Clink.
Bye.
I don't know how to pause this.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, wait, no, hold up. Hey, cheers to Filmaholics, a podcast.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.